Permission granted.
12th of October. Rabbi Levitt. Nefesh
How
Hahaim.
is everybody this morning?
Baruch Hashem. Doing well, thank you.
Baruch Hashem.
And how's the little guy?
Baruch Hashem.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. Gesund und stark. Okay, so I have marked off over here where we got up to. And we got up to, and including the pasuk, Tenu Oz Lelukim. Give strength to Elukim. Dafke Elukim, we say over here. Because that's the whole vort that we're saying over here from Chaim Volozhiner in the name of Chazal, that it's Dafka Elukim that we could give koach to, because that's the way he operates. He makes his koach, although it's infinite, we're the ones that are the poseach and the soger. We're the ones that open it up. We're the ones that close it according to our Masa Dibo Machshava, our deeds and thoughts and words. So that's very meduyak, exacting that the pasuk uses that shem of Hashem to nu oz lelukim. And now we're going to go weiter, and we're going to bring from the Reb Chaim's going to bring from the Zohar. Who would like to read? We're in Shar Aleph. We're in the Sefer Nefesh Hahaim, and we are in Perek Gimel, and we're up to Ubezoar Reish Parshes Bo. In the Zohar Kodesh, in the beginning of Parshas Bo, you may know that the Zohar is organized. The Torah of the Zohar is organized according to Parshas Hashvuah. And much of what's in it, in that parsha, Parshas Bo, pertains to Parshas Bo, but like it is with the Talmud, it also goes into other categories that are related. And here we're going to see something that's not related so much to Parshas Bo per se, but Vayhi Hayom V'yavo. Okay, so who would like to read? Anybody got the place?
No.
Don't have the place?
No.
Are we in gate 1, number 3?
Gate 1, chapter 3.
Is it towards the end? The end of it?
Yes, it's the end of chapter 3.
The last
The last section. This is really the last section of. So if you have your English subtitles giving of the this should be the last thing in the last title in chapter 3. Got it?
My very last sentence is Velochein Omar Lelakim Vechein Baalakim Naaseh Chayil.
No, after that.
After that, after that I've got chapter 4.
No.
My next sentence is V'zal's Torah ha'adam.
Oh,
Kol,
so
Ish,
really?
Kol.
Are you serious? They skipped out this last of chapter 3. That's terrible.
I
How
have
can
the
you do
exact
such a
same thing
thing?
Roy has.
What?
What was there anybody else?
The exact same thing that Roy-
I have the paragraph, but it's in brackets. I guess symbolizing it might not be completely part of it or whatever.
One point I have in English is, this is what is meant by Bereshit 127, and Hashem created man with his image. That sound familiar?
Okay. Okay, I see. See, all these translations, they're abridging the original text.
Right.
That's what they're doing. So okay. That's
So what is it?
That's what
What
they're
is
doing.
what is the sentence then that we're missing?
we even yesterday we spoke about this after it says Belukim Nasachayil.
Yeah, I couldn't find it yesterday.
Okay, so now I understand. You don't have that in your sefer.
Mm-hmm. So would you like to give it to us? Give it
Go
to
over it again. Okay.
if you like, or should
Okay.
or can it be skipped?
Oh, chas v'shalom.
Okay.
Why do you want to? That's like saying, here, you got Sefer Bereshis over here, Parshas Bereshis. Let's skip the story of Adam and Chava with the Eitz Das. We'll go to the next.
Good idea.
We'll make it. Then we'll be able to cover ground. Then we'll be able to make a siyum. You
I
can't
never
make a.
understood that story anyway.
You can't make a. It doesn't matter. You still have to read it. You can't make a siyum if you haven't made a siyum in everything that there is to be Messiah. So it doesn't make any. You can call it a siyum. It's not a siyum. It's like making a siyum in Maseches Ksubas, and you skipped daf chaf until daf lamed. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we made the siyum in time for Tisha B'av, so everybody could eat. Okay, just.
Oh,
Okay.
and on that point, I'm sorry, that brings up a point, if you don't mind, or I forget it for now?
No, say.
Yeah, I have
Let's
the
see.
last sentence.
Well, on Pesach, when the firstborn want to finish a siyum so that they don't have to fast, well, most of them probably haven't done the whole sefer.
No, they have.
But a lot of people haven't. They just come for the siyum.
Oh, that's allowed, because one person makes the whole siyum in that whole masechta. It may be a small masechta. It may be maybe 30 blat. That's fine. That's what's usually done. True. But the people that come, even though they didn't make the siyum, right? They didn't learn that masechta at all. But that if they're firstborn, so that's why they come to the siyum, and now that allows them to eat. Yeah. Even though they didn't make the siyum, right? 100%.
Okay. Thank you.
I have in front of me the last sentence in Gate 1, Chapter 3. Last sentence. This is why it says, to God Hahaim, and similarly through God Hakim, we will make valor, because its definition is master of all powers. That's the last sentence. And
excellent. You got the whole thing. That's right. That's the translation of the last few words of chapter 3. Very good.
Well, I've got something similar then. It says, therefore, the verse says, to God Elohim, and similarly through God Elohim, we shall do valiantly, as its meaning is that he is the power of all things as stated above.
Very, very similar to what I have from
Interesting.
Is that
So they're very devious. They're very devious in their abridgment. They wanted to they wanted to end with the last words, so just as to say, we got the whole chapter, but they skipped a few things out in the middle. Okay, whatever it is, I don't know. I don't have that edition. I don't have that edition in front of me. What you got, but let's just. I'll tell you what the words are in chapter 3 after having quoted the pasuk Belukim Nasechayo. Okay, and this is what we did yesterday. We're going over what we did yesterday again. We'll just go through. We'll just read the words very quickly without the explanation because we want to get to the Zohar. Bisman she'ein Yisrael osin ratzonu shel makom. At a time that the Jewish people are not doing the Ratzon Hashem, Kaviyachol, Matishin Koach Gadol Shel Mala. That's the downside. That's the side of what Rav Chaim is saying over here. Just like the deeds, thoughts, and actions of a person can create worlds. When he does the Ratzon Hashem, when Klal Yisrael does not do the Ratzon Hashem, so then the opposite happens, and and we say that it even weakens and diminishes the koach of Elokim, and he has a pasuk for this as well. This is a pasuk in Devarim, in Parshas Azinu, Perek Lamed Beis, pasuk Yud Ches. It says over there, Tsur Yeladata Teshi. Actually, I should get the pasuk because Rav Barkley said that there's a Rashi over here which accords with what Rav Chaim is saying here very much. But just these three words, Sur is referring to Hashem, the rock, and this next word, who gave birth to you. The rock who gave birth to you, Teshi. You, with your doing things which are not according to the Ratzon Hashem, Teshi. You can weaken the power that Hashem puts into the world. Ubakama makomos, b'Zohar HaKodesh, in many places in the Zohar, he quotes the lashon of the Zohar, the Chovi Barnash Abdin Pegimoy Le'ela, that the averas of a person make a pagam, make a blemish upstairs, Le'ela, above, in the Olamos Elyonim, that are above this world. We can't see this, but Reb Chaim is telling us we have to have a munah that this is what happens. A person has so much koach, and that's why he is called a Tzelem Elokim, because his actions is what controls the koach of Hashem, who controls with his koach all of the kochos and the olamos in the whole universe. And then he says, and also opposite, meaning on the good side too. We don't forget the good side, that we can create worlds. Even we can give kedusha and existence and maintenance and strength to the worlds through our Torah and mitzvahs and doing the Ratzon Hashem. Zeu masha kosuv. This is what it says. Tenu Oz Lelukim. That's a pasuk in Tehillim, Samaches, chapter 65, Lamed Hey, 35. What does it mean? The way Reb Chaim is explaining it, it means Tenu, Klal Yisrael, give, Oz, give strength, Lelukim, to Elokim, that he should be able to use his infinite kochos to inject kedusha and chiyus, sanctity and life into the world.
Can you give the reference again, please?
Tenu Oz Lelokim is Tehillim, chapter 68, verse 35.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ubezoar, Reish Parshas Bo, in the beginning of Parshas Bo in the Zohar, it quotes a pasuk. This is a pasuk in Eov. Vayhi bayom v'yavohu. And then Reb Chaim doesn't quote the entire Zohar. This pasuk in Eov, if you want to know where it is, it's Eov, the very first chapter in Eov, Perek Aleph, pasuk Vav, verse 6. The Zohar expounds upon this pasuk in Eov. Reb Chaim says over here that the ministering angels, this Hashem has agents of his, even though he knows everything. He has agents of his that record all the deeds that are done in the world, and particularly in Klal Yisrael. And they're not just recorded, but they are reported to Hashem. And there's a big report that's made to Hashem. On what day is this day that this pasuk in Eov is referring to? It says Hayom, the day. You know what day the day is? The day of Rosh Hashanah. In a different Zohar, I think. Rav Chaim, by the way, doesn't quote the whole Zohar over here. I'm just saying over from Rav Barkley's shir. He had a whole laid out all of the sources and the whole explanation. But in a nutshell, what it is that on Rosh Hashanah, these angels are presenting a case to Hashem in regard to the deeds of Klal Yisrael that they recorded in their ledgers, and now they're reporting the results of their ledgers. And he continues in the words of the Zohar, translation, because it's in the Lashon HaKodesh here, Lihisyat Sev al Hashem. Oh, that actually is if you'll take a look in Eov, you'll find that is the words of the pasuk in Eov. Lihisyat Sev al Hashem. To stand up, to testify. That's a din of a witness in a bezdin. He doesn't say testimony sitting down. He stands up and gives testimony. And it says Al Hashem. Okay, about Hashem, on Hashem, against Hashem. Why against Hashem? Says the Zohar, Kad boin lekaima al inun oibdin de Yisrael al Hashem vadai kayomin. Meaning to say, I have a targum of the Zohar into Lashon HaKodesh. Kisharotzim lamod al elu hamasim shel Yisrael. When the angels want to stand on these actions of the Jewish people, they are standing on Hashem. Ki Yisrael osim masim she'enam toivim. It's talking about the actions that when a Klal Yisrael does, which are not so good. Kaviyochol machlishim koach HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This, like we said before, reduces and weakens the koach of Hashem to breathe life and kedusha into the worlds. But on the other hand, on the positive side, when they do good things, Klal Yisrael, so then nosin gvura, but koach el Hashem, el HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They give koach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They give gvura to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be able to use all of his infinite powers to breathe life and bracha and blessing and everything good into the world. On this, it says the pasuk that we had before, Tenu Oz Lelokim, the pasuk in Tehillim, give strength to Hashem, give oaths to Hashem. And Rav Barkley pointed out over here that even in Chazal, you see that this language, it's a pasuk in Eov. The way that they explain it is when the malachim are testifying, and we're talking about the pasuk is talking about they're testifying. Al Hashem is against Hashem because when they testify that Klal Yisrael is doing not according to the Ratzon Hashem, that's an attack against Hashem. To say that Klal Yisrael, his chosen nation, his children, are not doing his Ratzon, that's called Al Hashem. That's called an attack on Hashem. And this is what's happening on Rosh Hashanah. But on the good side, of course, we have to emphasize the good side as well. That the Malachim don't just present the negative side. There's also another side. And if Klal Yisrael is doing the Ratzon Hashem, so then the Malachim are presenting the Masim Tovim that Klal Yisrael did, and that, of course, is for Hashem. And that's what the Zohar ends with, Tenu Oz Elokim. Give strength to Hashem, because that is what Hashem wants to do. That's what Hashem wants more than anything is to give good into the world. That's his true desire. And even though everything Hashem does is good, like we always hear on the hotline, but there's two ways to give good. There's one way to give good that everybody sees that it's good. It's open bracha. It's open hatzlacha. It's open and clear, and everyone can see that this is a great fortune in the world that is there. The other things that happen are also ultimately for the best. We have Emunah Shlema, that they're for the best, and they're coming from Ava and Rahmanas and Chesed that Hashem does, but it doesn't look like that to us. And so this, what we're saying, is that's what we mean when we say it's the. yeah, okay. I'm just going to look over here to see if there's any more diamonds that Rav Barkley mentioned over here. Yeah, okay, so fine. So this is this we should have seen before Rosh Hashanah. But okay, we're preparing for next Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, and now we go to Perek Dalet. Okay, Perek Dalet. Now, Perek Dalet, I'm assuming you have the beginning because they're not going to be so impudent as to delete the first words of Perek Dalet, are they? The first words of Perek Dalet are V'zos Torah Sa'adam. Got that?
Yep.
Got it.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so Alan, would you like to read?
Let's see. Yeah. And this is the law of man. Each person in Israel should not say in his heart or mind, heaven forfend, what am I? What power do I have to affect anything in the world in my lowly actions? Truthfully, one should understand and know and fix in his heart or mind thoughts that every detail of his actions, speech, and thoughts in each instant and moment are not for naught. Heaven forbid. Wait a minute. And how many are his actions and how great and exalted that each one rises according to its root, to effect its result at the loftiest heights in the worlds and the highest levels of the heavenly lights.
Right. So this is a big yesod over here. The whole yesod of the Sefer. This is the takeaway that comes from what the tremendous chiddush that we learned so far is. What's the whole point of what we've said so far? What are we supposed to take out from that? So here, Rav Haim tells you in the beginning of chapter 4, this is what I want you to know, and this is the takeaway from this. That this is the Torah for a person to take to heart, to internalize very, very deep inside him, and like this, his avodas Hashem is going to be a whole new type of avodas Hashem with more strength, with more enthusiasm, with more carefulness, and everything good. What's the problem? What's the problem? He said this 200 years ago. Today, it's 1,000,000 times more important, these words, than when he said them. Without any exaggeration. Because this is probably, for many people, one of the biggest difficulties that they have in their whole avodas Hashem. They say to themselves, what is I'm a simple Jew, right? I don't come 100% on time to daven in the morning all the time, and I say a word over here and I say a word over there that maybe is not the best word to say, or it's incorrect, or it's false, or it's not nice, etc., etc., etc. and maybe here and there I don't look in the places that I'm supposed to look, and I look in places I'm not. And so therefore, what does the person think about himself? He says, because of that, my actions, that shows that I'm a lowly individual. And what that must mean is that anything that I do, even something good that I do, it doesn't have so much power, doesn't have so much impact, doesn't have anything what I do. Because the proof is because of these things that I do that are not really so good. So it's I'm not a player over here. I'm not. It doesn't matter. And so that's the biggest trap, says Reb Chaim, that a person could fall into, because nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Every person, he says, according to the shorish of his neshama. You see that when he says over there, kafi shorsho, according to his shorish, according to his source. What is that referring to? So Reb Barkley said something amazing. Every Jew and every person has a neshama. Klal Yisrael has a neshama that's cut from a different place than the neshamas of mankind. But what he said was in a higher place, and therefore they have a much more dramatic effect on the world than what any actions from the nations of the world. He's going to talk about that shortly, Reb Chaim himself, in the Nefesh Chaim. But Reb Barkley said like this: Adam Arishon, can you imagine what the neshama of Adam Arishon was? So he says from the Sforim that Adam Arishon had a neshama, which was a neshama that contained all of the neshamas of all of the generations of mankind for the rest of the existence of the world. And when we say and Adam Arishon, he had so according to where a person's shorish is, his shorish is in the neshama of Adam Arishon. And depending where his shorish stems from in Adam Arishon, does it come from his brain? Does it come from his heart? Reb Barkley said, today, there's an expression that Chazal say, today is Ikvasa de Mashiach. We're in the 2,000-year period of the 6,000 years of the history of the world, from the time of Adam Rishon, 6,000 years. We're in the 2,000-year period, which is called Ikvasa de Mashiach. Reb Chaim says that not Reb Chaim, but Barkley said that what's the ikvasa is the heel. The heel is the lowest part on the person. He said that most of the neshamas of the people that come into the world at this time are from the akev, are from that part which is lower, the lower part, the heels of Adam Rishon. But nevertheless, we are wired spiritually according to the neshama of Adam Rishon, that we have an ability intrinsically to whatever we do, from moment to moment, whether for good or whether chas v'sholom for the opposite, to have an impact on the world, because it's wired into the creation. That's our neshama. that's the energy. And so there's no such a thing as a person saying, "Oh, my actions don't matter. It doesn't really matter whether I come on time or not to daven. It doesn't really matter whether I put my tefillin properly on my head." I was in the tefillah a couple of days ago, and Reb Brizak was visiting here from America. He's now living in America. Anyway, he's the famous mechanech Reb Brizak. He's used to live 2 doors away from us. He said you should. He took my tefillin and he took out a pen and he said, let me what's the opposite of widen? Let me make smaller your tefillin strap over here, so you'll be able to get the tefillin shorosh where it should be, where it's supposed to be, where the hairs that used to grow over there on your head came out. That's where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it's too low. So it's a game of not inches. It's a game of millimeters, and these things make a lot of difference for everybody, for every person, because every person, if he's a person, he has an neshama. If he has an neshama, he's wired spiritually to this whole Tselem Elokim, that whatever he does has a tremendous impact. We have no idea. We can't see it. If we would only be able to see, if Hashem would reveal to us what we could see, our actions have an effect, there probably, I guess, would be no more bechira. There wouldn't be any free will, because we would see what it is that we're causing with our actions, and then we would really make a tremendous effort to improve our actions, and because we see what our actions cause. But Hashem doesn't want us to see that. He wants us to read Nefesh Hahaim and have emunah that this is so, and then we get tremendous scar for choosing and having the free will and using the free will to do the Ratzon Hashem. Okay, so that's what he's saying over here. That's what he's saying over here. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. So I'll just read the next few lines over here. Ube'emes ki ha'ish ha'chacham yovin ezos lamito libo yachil b'kirboy b'chayil b'ra'oda v'sumoy el liboy al masav asher loy tovim chas v'sholom ad heichan hema magim l'kalkel l'harois v'cheit kal chas v'sholom. This is the famous part of Chaim Volozhiner, that if a person will put in his brain, and here he's making the distinction over here between Klal Yisrael, according to the shorish of their neshama, and according to the way that Hashem has fixed the bria at this point, that our actions have a much more effect on the world than the nations of the world, and this is what he's saying over here. We're going to go into this tomorrow. That our actions, even our thoughts, what a person thinks, what a Jew thinks, has even more effect on the worlds than what Nebuchadnezzar's effect was when he destroyed the first base of Mikdash, and what Titus affected in the world and in the Olamos when he destroyed the second base of Mikdash. Mm. So he's going to go into this. So we'll see that Bez Hashem tomorrow on Erev Shabbos, Parshas Bereshis. Yashikoyach to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, Yeshkaya.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. All the best to Mayor Yashikoyach.
Okay, Yeshkaya. Very
our-
good.
Yeah, Mayor.
Coming.
Good Shabbos.
Have a good Shabbos if I don't see you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I
have a good Shabbos, Mayor.
Okay, very good. Be well.
All the best. We'll be back soon.